Today I'm gonna be playing a regular game of Europa Universalis 4. We're gonna do everything you normally do. Take a country in 1444, go to war, conquer land, develop our nation, work on the economy, do construction, trade, keep our subjects at bay, and everything else you normally do. Except when our original starting ruler dies, I'm gonna hand off our empire to my AI-controlled descendants and heirs, and we're gonna watch them for 300 years. After I set everything up for them to lead them to a path of glory and success, will they be able to continue leading our empire to glory and success, or will they turn out to be incompetent idiots and burn everything to the ground? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to play as one ruler in EU4 and watch as our descendants rule our empire. Alright, here we are in EU4, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the world map looks like in 1444, and obviously, when trying to select a nation or a ruler for this challenge right here, obviously we had to go to Europe because this is Europa Universalis 4 after all, and some other things I was considering when starting this run is I didn't want to take a nation that traditionally turns out to be powerful, right? So no need to take England, France, Castile, Portugal, Ottomans, Muscovy. They end up having successful games anyway, right? So I wanted someone of medium strength that's not always too successful, but I also wanted a young ruler, someone in his 20s, so we could get at least, 30 or 40 years in before he dies. And upon looking around on the map, I settled between two different nations, either Emperor Palatine Ludwig, Elector Palatine Ludwig IV right here, who's 20, the ruler of the Palatinate, or Archking Christopher III, who's 28 and a ruler of Denmark. So I settled on Denmark. They start off with Holstein as a vassal, Norway and Sweden as junior partners, a nation that on first glance looks really powerful, but they never have a successful game when the AI plays as them due to various challenges that Denmark faces at the start, like Sweden breaking free and rebellions. Alright, so here we are as Denmark, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously not in Iron Man mode because I have to be able to, hop out of the game once my original ruler dies. This guy, man, with 28 right here, I think we're gonna get a good 30-ish years in as him. And yeah, man, Denmark, like I just said at the start, pretty difficult for the AI to keep a hold of them. In our tenure here as Archking Christopher III, I'm gonna aim to, keep Norway, Sweden, and Holstein at bay, stop them from being rebellious. I'm also going to aim to expand over in the Baltic Sea trade node right here, especially nab the centers of trade from, the Teutons and Riga and the Livonians, and maybe even expand into Novgorod right here so we can set up a good trade network from Denmark, and hopefully, they'll be able to have a successful game once Christopher III right here dies. We do have a couple of pretty good missions right at the start here, man. We need to retake Gotland right here. We have a core. We need to build up our navy and our army. We need to make Norway and Sweden loyal. We need to, rival England. And then there's a couple of development missions down here as well that we'll work on doing. So, yeah, man, I hope the Wittelsbachs after Christopher III can make me proud. But for now, it's time to start up our game. Alright, estate stuff done. Strong duchies granted. As always, some of these guys are still rebellious, but no big deal. So to get these guys loyal, man, they need to have 150 opinion of me, less than 20% liberty desire. These guys, same opinion, but less than 10% liberty desire. Let's go ahead and rival England right at the start. I think I'll rival Novgorod as well because we do want to expand into them. And I think I'm going to do frickin' Scotland as well. Let's do that. Okay, Denmark should be making... Actually, it's not making money right at the start, which is interesting, but we do have a unique naval doctrine right here, Danish Admiralty. I think we're not going to go with that. I think we're going to go for Free Oarsmen, and I am going to select it immediately. I do want to declare on Gotland here as fast as possible because I don't want them to have allies. So let's get... let's try and look for a Diplorep guy right here, man, and I'm going to get this... let's get this tax guy, let's get this discipline guy, and fish for that guy. So, let's see. Naval force limit 24, 19. Okay, let's go ahead and start building up galleys immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, 10 is good enough. And I'll put down the Free Company here as well? I don't know. Maybe the Free Swiss Guard or something, or the Finnish Company. Yeah, the Finnish Company, why not? There we go, we'll put them there. So no luck on the Gotland declaration. They've immediately allied Poland, so I guess we're gonna have to hold off on that. In the meantime, I guess if that's not our first war, I should start spying on the Teutons, and I should actually set some Novgorod provinces here as provinces of vital interest. Hopefully Sweden will spy on them, and that's how we'll have a CB on Novgorod. But yeah, otherwise, man, we just need to build up our army and navy and get some claims on the Livonians here. So yeah, Teutons, Livonians, or Novgorod is going to be our first war, not Goatland. It is what it is. We'll try and deal with them later. Because I embargoed England, I took the mission Rival England, which gave us shipbuilding time and cost discounts. I should have probably done this before I started building up the galleys, but listen, no one's perfect. Not even me. Now, Denmark does get some pretender rebels right at the start, so we gotta be careful of that as well. Hey, this is very nice for improving relations with Sweden, man. This is dope. Now, if I can get these guys below 30%, I can then also support loyalists for minus 20% liberty desire, and we might actually be able to take off the mission Crown of Sweden right here, which I think makes them loyal. It is already 150 opinion, as you boys can see, so we just need to drop them below 30, man. Oh, let's tell this guy to establish communities as well. That'll help. Ah, the state of the Kalmar Union. Damn. Okay, it does let us know that these guys are gonna get rowdy, especially Sweden. Poland did get Lithuania, and they also have Moldavia. This is pretty important for, you know, my descendants later on. I'm probably not gonna be engaging with these guys in my tenure as Christopher III right here, but this could put a dent in future Denmark's plans. Okay, so wait, there's another mission. There's expand the military. Okay, we gained an admiral and claims on this, which is awesome. We could be declaring on the Livonians right here, but making the Teutons the primary target, and then just take Reval. But I also need to take, I can't take the, I don't think I can take all 5 of these provinces in one war without making people too mad, but we'll see. We'll see. Either way, Sweden is now at 30. Let's try supporting loyalists. That puts them at 10, less than 10. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Wow, this is a lovely event. There we go, 5% liberty desire, and a very important mission that we needed to complete for our heirs, the Crown of Sweden. There it is. So, we can do a couple of things right here. We can basically try and persuade the rest of the nobility to our cause. So we get, we support pro-unionists with Sweden. That makes us have less goods produced. Nobles are more influential, but you know, Sweden gets some bonuses right here, where basically we support them and they're less rebellious. We can just gain admin points and basically, you know, keep the status as it is right now, or we can choose this option right here, where Sweden basically hates us and we exploit stuff from their land. Definitely don't want to go with this. You know, if I was to continue this run, I'd probably go with this option right here. They'll eventually become pro-unionist on their own, and they're really not rebellious at all. But I think for AI's sake, man, for my heirs' sake, I think we'll support the pro-unionists. That will make us slightly poorer, but I think we'll be all right. Okay, so now that we got various claims over here, and there's another mission. There's Norway as well. Okay, perfect. So we can do equal crowns with Norway, which is basically, once again, supporting these guys. Now, Norway isn't as rebellious as Sweden, definitely, so we don't need to placate them as much as we did Sweden. We don't want to exploit them as well. We'll just keep the status quo with Norway. There we go. I think that's a pretty good way to handle Norway and Sweden for my heirs. But what I was gonna say is we're in position right here to do some wars. Let's go ahead and fight Novgorod first. We definitely want to get Neva and Novgorod before Muscovy does. That will severely cripple them, and we also want to lock down this border right here. So there's our declaration on Novgorod right here. First war. We're gonna use Sweden's claim for this right here. They're only allied to Odoyev down here. No big deal. First wartime. And there we go, Novgorod has been defeated. Good thing we declared when we did, because Muscovy hit them as well. I think we're gonna do something like this. Can't take Novgorod over here, but it's no big deal. I'd rather secure the border than go for that one specifically, because the center of trade. This is gonna be really expensive, and we're not making that much monarch points because Archking Christopher III here, he's not that good, but yeah, still very important. So I'm taking all of this land right here. With that, we've absolutely crippled Muscovy, and hopefully my Danish heirs right here will be able to keep a hold of that. Now, because a lot of this is in Eastern Europe right here, and it is Orthodox, I'm actually gonna add pretty much everything I can right here to the Novgorod Trade Company and the White Sea Trade Company. That will make these provinces not give us any penalties, and we'll get more trade resources from them. Another option could have been to grant the burghers right here, that thingy where we don't need to convert Orthodox provinces, but I think this sets up Denmark pretty well with these trade companies. Okay, now let's chill a little bit and then we'll fight these three guys right here. And just like that, we've become a great power, ladies and gentlemen. I hope my heirs will be able to maintain or elevate this level of prestige that we've been bestowed. Now, something else we can try and do to set up Denmark right here is actually go for the Burgundian succession. Burgundy is willing to ally us, and they are willing to royal marry us. You know, if France or Austria, the HRE Emperor, doesn't get them, we could. The Burgundian succession, by the way, happens when, you know, the ruler dies right here and, you know, the entire country along with their subjects goes to someone else. So I'm actually gonna do that, man. I'm actually gonna do that. I wouldn't probably normally do this in a Denmark game, but hey, anything I can do to help these guys out. Okay, I mean, Charles is in power. When he dies, Burgundian succession happens. We have a pretty good chance of getting Burgundy, man. We have a pretty good chance. Okay, so we're almost done coring these Novgorodian provinces, and aggressive expansion isn't that bad because they were Orthodox, and we're really not going to be fighting anyone else that's Orthodox. I think it's time to continue our wars to set everything up for our heirs. I'm going to do that by declaring on the Teutonic Order right here. Their only ally is the Livonian Order, and our main goal in this war is to nab Danzig, Königsberg, and Memel, three very important centers of trade, which will give us major control over the Baltic Sea. I'm just going to white peace Riga and the Livonian Order, and then when my truce with them is up, I intend on full annexing these guys. So, let's get it, man. There's the conquest for Danzig, and there we go. Oh, there's dreams of freedom. There's dreams of freedom. They get plus 50% liberty desire for the next like 60 years. They're still loyal though, right? They should be. Yeah, they are still loyal. We're good. Oh, two pieces of good news right at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, war with the Teutons is done. Good thing we declared when we did, because I did manage to pop off the important occupations. Poland declared on them as well. Just white peace the Livonians, obviously, like I said. But more importantly, our infertile Archking Christopher III right here has finally produced an heir, Frederick von Wittelsbach. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this, most likely, this is who we're gonna hand off the Kalmar Union, Denmark to, right? He's not a very good administrator, so it could all fall apart, but I trust this guy to kick some ass. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Frederick, you know what? We'll give him the Great even before he's great. There we go. Did I just jinx him? I don't know, but I guess we'll have to see. Okay, war with the Teutons is done. I just want Danzig, Königsberg, and Memel. We could take Marienburg here too, but I'm not gonna, because I want to take all of this land right here, and I don't want to leave Frederick the Great stuck in a coalition or anything like that. So there's the Teutons out. Let's take all of their money and war reps if they continue existing. If not, it is what it is. But there we go. That's another war done, and very important centers of trade in the Baltic Sea secured. We can actually put down some buildings now. We're not making money. That thing is lying. It's just because we took money from the Teutons. But let's put down some centers of trade, man. So we definitely want one in Copenhagen right here. Super important. Then let's put one down right here, and then we'll build them all around. We do want to establish quite a lot of buildings as well. At least, you know, the relevant ones. Now, at this point, 10 years have passed, which means we can annex our vassal Holstein right here. Now, normally, before you annex someone, you want to give out the integration policy to the nobles so we don't lose Diplo rep, right? However, that will make our subjects more rebellious. A good thing about Denmark's missions is, though, once you annex those subjects, you lose that modifier when you take the mission. So we don't gotta hand out strong duchies, and we won't lose Diplo rep. So let's annex Holstein. We got a core on one of their provinces, so it shouldn't be too long. Interesting. So around the world, a lot of other alliances are being set up, and you know, realms and stuff like that. Poland got Lithuania, like I mentioned earlier. They did expand a little bit. Iberian Union already happened as well. Austria just got Hungary. So all the main players are setting themselves up, man. Look at this. Even France, who so rarely fights Brittany this early, is doing it. Well, at least they didn't take this from England, which I would rather they have, because England is more powerful because of that now, but we'll see. Let's pick up some new burger loans so we can continue constructing buildings right here. Let's keep putting down marketplaces, man. We definitely want one in Holstein right here, because that is gonna be our province. Let's say we wanna build them mostly in our stuff, right? So Neva as well, I guess. Yeah. Anything else we can do? Not now, but yeah, as soon as this is finished coring. Next war in 2 years, as soon as our truce with the Livonians is up. Riga has joined the HRE, which is gonna make it more expensive and more aggressive expansion to take this province, but we desperately need it, man. Right now, the Renaissance has also spawned, and it is already spreading to our provinces, right? Especially because we have a cardinal here, but we still want to push up Copenhagen up to 30 development right here, especially for missions and the age objective. So let's activate encourage development, and Sealand will also expand infrastructure right here to make it even cheaper, and I'll just, you know, bump it up to, let's say, 10 in every category. There we go. Very nice. That will enable us to take this mission later. We just need a church and the Pope to like us and some clergy stuff. Okay. And there we go. Holstein has been annexed. We've acquired another center of trade and very nice provinces. If, you know, this modifier is present, let's see, is it present? Not yet. So let's wait for it to show up and then we'll take the mission. Oh, and we can already embrace the Renaissance? I mean, sure. Yeah, let's embrace it. Tier 2 Gov reform time. Now, I did not mention our Tier 1 government reform. We are the unique Kalmar Union Tier 1 government reform, so it just gives us +1 possible advisors, +2 diplo relations, +15% nobles influence, and we can't switch our government type and can't integrate or abandon personal unions, right? You need to do other things right here to integrate Norway and Sweden. I have seen the AI integrate Norway and Sweden too, actually. It just happens so rarely, man. But yeah, I think the AI can handle these missions, so not too bad. But we could go strengthen noble privileges right here, but we do not want our nobles to be that influential, man. So I think I'm gonna help out my descendant right here by taking curtail noble privileges. All right, truce with the Livonians is up. I've picked up Miltech 5. Let's go ahead and declare on them, and I also intend to take Riga here as well. So yeah, let's just declare for revolt. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Air falls ill? Come on, man. Okay, we can send for a train medicus 50-50? God damn. Oh, come on, bro. It was so hard to get that kid. What happens if he dies? Okay, we'll still get a guy, right? We can't become a personal union of someone else, like the Bavarian guys or the Palatinate guys, because we have junior partners of our own. But I was hoping to keep the Wittelsbachs. It's not a big deal, but I guess he wasn't so great after all. I gotta get some more royal marriages in, man. In that case, I think people are willing to marry me. Yeah. All right, this is gonna be very expensive, but we gotta do it. So there's a full annex on Riga and a full annex on the Livonian Order. Are we gonna get coalitioned? No, not really. Okay, nice, nice. So I've pretty much done all the wars I wanted to do except for Goatland, man. Some of you guys might be thinking we should push into the British Isles and stuff like that, but England is... we can beat them, but it would be annoying, and Scotland's still guaranteed by France, so really no chance of getting in here now. Frick off Austria, and then we've reconquered Estonian. We get it as an accepted culture, +1 max promoted cultures, local goods produced, and some further claims on stuff we already have. Now for this, we actually need a couple of more provinces here. Yeah, we need to fight Muscovy for that. Either way, we gotta fight Muscovy, even if I had taken this, because we need Pskov. But it is what it is. So we have been coalitioned by, like, Wolgast, Gotland, Poland. Really not a big deal, boys. This isn't, you know, even if, like, Brandenburg joins too, no one else will. Mazovia, Lithuania can't. They're subjects. Muscovy won't. It's cool. Hey, radical reforms. Very nice. We do need those points, man. We do need them. Now, it is time for our first idea group. I know a lot of you might be thinking we go with influence in order to help our heirs keep a hold of Sweden and Norway, but I really don't think is a problem. What I would go with, Denmark right here, man, is probably like quality, because we want to buff up our army and our navy. Naval gameplay is really important as Denmark. And then I take trade. So hopefully my guy survives long enough to where I can also pick up a second idea group for them, but let's just open up with quality for now. By the way, I don't think I mentioned Danish ideas, but they are pretty good, man. +20% national manpower, +1 yearly naval tradition, +15% global naval engagement with. We got Diplo Annex discount and Liberty Desire in the same continent subjects. Trade efficiency, domestic trade power, naval force line +50%, that's huge. Shock damage, Merc discipline, morale of navies, naval leader shock, construction discount and global citadel increase, and monthly autonomy change, and +10 max absolutism. And we spawned faceting in Danzig. That's awesome. And this is awesome for us as well. Yeah, really not that bad. Let's see, Sweden, we're still chilling. And there's the coalition disbanded. Easy. We do not want to give Orkney to Scotland. Ooh, we got Danish subject loyalty. Yeah, let's get it. I know we got a lot of forts here, man. I'm seeing it as well, but I'm just I don't feel comfortable deleting these forts because it might make Denmark easily invadable later on if someone decides to declare on them. My truce with Novgorod, who still exists, is up. They're an OPM without any allies. I mean, no reason to do it, but also no reason not to do it. That's a wrap on Novgorod. Hey, nice. Okay, let's see. This is like a last-ditch attempt for you to get an heir. So we can get a ruler, or an heir from the Savoy family. We have a royal marriage with them. We can get some of the Burgundy guys because we got a royal marriage with them. We can get a Brunswick guy because we got a Brunswick, or we can remain without an heir. I think we really should get an heir, man. We're not gonna get to keep the Wittelsbachs, obviously, but that's not part of the challenge, is it? It's just watching the heirs. We don't care about the dynasty. So she's a 7. He's a 7 as well. Well, they're all 7. 241 124 412. Who do we get? I really don't know. Let's actually go with the Burgundy guys. They're all weak claim though, but whatever. Ooh, France is sending me an alliance offer. What benefits would my heirs have from being allied to France? They're really not that powerful. England is still present here. I doubt they're gonna get bullied, but you know what? Let's link up with them. Let's link up with them. I do need bigger allies right here, man, because oh, there's a mission. What mission is that? That's the mission, the European stage. 10 favors and trust with every ally. Cool. Hey, prospering times in Bornholm, which is excellent. That basically creates a level 3 center of trade for us in Lubeck. Just got admin 6, which unlocks the workshop for us. This will definitely help with our heirs' economy. Shout out the boy France. I thought France wasn't gonna call me in, but they did call me in. I'll accept. Sure, why not? Frick, this is the annoying one. So, this is a part of the event chain that Sweden has for independence. Either they get a trillion pretender stacks right here, which are gonna be pretty annoying to deal with because they're pretenders and you gotta beat them up twice, or we can gather the Swedish anti-unionists and deal with them. Although I do think the event Stockholm Bloodbath makes them more rebellious. Let me read the event. Nah, I definitely want to go with this. Damn. No. No, 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 no. This is a horrible time. This is the worst possible time. No. He died. That's it, boys. I'm officially not allowed to do anything anymore. Oh my god. Okay. So here's the deal. Here's what happened. So I clicked to deal with the Swedish pretenders, right? Let's just click all of these away. So the first thing that happened, I'm still wanting to deal with these guys, but we got Danish nobles fighting Novgorodian separatists. I can't touch anything anymore, by the way. I can just show you guys. Then we got the 4 stacks, massive stacks of Swedish pretenders, and then we got our own pretenders here. So what happened is Alexander de Bourgogne, my heir that I appointed, has ascended the throne because he was weak claim, we got our own pretender stack. So here's what Alexander's got to deal with. He's got to deal being in this war versus England, and he might even try and help. He's got to deal with these 2 stacks right here. He's got to deal with these 4 Swedish ones, and he's got to deal with his own. But ladies and gentlemen, for me, this campaign is done. Okay, I think what we're gonna do now, ladies and gentlemen, is just go into the console, and I think it's observe, was it? I haven't done one of these in a while. Yes, it is. Okay, so there we go. Now we're officially no country at all. We're playing as no one, we're just observing, and we're gonna let everything run, man. I don't think I'm even gonna find out how this goes. Actually, I'm gonna sit around here and wait to see how they resolve this, but after that, what I'm gonna do is just zoom in down here and leave. Completely leave the room. I'm not gonna see anything that happens, and when I come back, we'll check every like 30 or 40 or 50 years. When I come back, I want to just zoom out and go to Denmark and have my reaction, you know, be genuine and me not know what's going on, you know? So that's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna stick around here for a little bit, 5 or 10 minutes, give them time to see what they deal with this, but after that, I'm just gonna leave and let the game run and see how my heirs deal with it. Okay, I think I set them up pretty well, man. Honestly, I think I set them up pretty well, way better than AI Denmark set itself up. We got a good position over the Baltic, Lubeck, and Novgorod trade nodes. I've expanded over here, so locked down Muscovy from forming Russia, expanded over here, stolen this before Poland and Lithuania can, and I've kept these guys loyal. What more could have we done? Taken out Gotland and maybe expanded over here a little bit, but I think a decent position. We didn't play not even 30 years, 28 years, but I'm satisfied. In amazing AI fashion, they've gone and split their big army that I built for them, and they're walking in an 11k versus, oh, actually, good job. Actually, that's not bad. They're dealing with it better than I expected. So they dealt with these guys here. Now they're, I guess, chasing some of the Swedish pretenders around. Oh, I think it's actually 5 stacks. Damn, it is 5 stacks. Yeah, they gotta deal with them, and they gotta deal with their own. Good, good. Before they get Stockholm. That's excellent. Okay, so they're doing a good job for now. They're off to a pretty good start, man. They just dealt with all of the Swedish pretenders. Sweden is still super loyal, and now they're dealing with their own. And there we go, even Sweden helped out a little bit over here. So this does give me confidence. This does give me confidence, but it's time for me to stop knowing what's going on. I'll just go down here, zoom into the water, and let the game run, and yeah, we'll come back, I think, when the Age of Reformation starts and see how they've dealt with everything. All right, folks, the Age of Reformation just rolled around a couple of months ago. Let's go ahead and pop over to Europe and see what our descendants in Denmark have been up to. And they are looking pretty much exactly the same. No, wait, don't get me wrong. I did expect this. So when we, established them right at the start, we got all the easy wars done for them, man. So I wasn't expecting them to fight like Poland, Lithuania. I wasn't expecting them to fight Muscovy or anyone like that. But let's go ahead and examine the situation. So they are not on the Great Powers list anymore. Okay, that is something to take a note of. And we have the Count's feud ready to fire because there is... Why? What's the reason right here? So, less legitimacy than 90. Okay, that's one away. It could still be stopped. And because we have a new dynasty, we need the Wittelsbachs. Interesting. So, that's a tricky situation to be in, man. Now, opening up the missions right here, yes, I was gonna say they should have taken the nobles of Sweden, which is excellent. So now, to ratify the Kalmar Union, man, all they need is 100 legitimacy, which I think they might be able to reach if they can somehow avoid or beat this disaster right here. So that situation there isn't that bad. Economy not that good, but only because they're rooting out quite a lot of corruption right now. So yeah, what did they take for their idea? They took admin. Okay, whatever. So yeah, okay. What am I expecting for them to do? Let's see. Sweden still super loyal. Norway still super loyal. Okay, if they can get through this disaster and pick up this mission right here, they will start integrating their subjects. And what I think we'll see them do is not actually expand too much in Europe, man, unless they can secure some good alliances. And speaking of good alliances, this is what it's looking like. Burgundian succession did happen, but it's looking like Burgundy chose to remain independent. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I think we'll see these guys, colonize, man. I think we'll see them fully shift over to colonization, just like Norway is gonna do here very soon. I am expecting, that's Morocco right there, Denmark to do the same. So they're still in a pretty good position. Denmark hasn't collapsed or anything like that, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and unpause right here, man. I'm not playing as Denmark, am I? I don't think I am, right? Oh, yes, I am playing as Denmark. Okay, so let's pop out, and let's see if this disaster fires for them, man. It should be, it should pop, and I think it did. And yes, we are in the Count's feud, so all they gotta do is get up to 3 stab, which is not hard at all. They're at 2, and they can stab up 1 more time easily, and beat up these 2 pretender stacks. This is so easy, though. This is so easy. This is not even a disaster, bro. Super easy. So yeah, next time we come back, man, they should have taken the mission, ratify the Kalmar Union, and they should be integrating their subjects. Realistically, over here, I would have taken representatives of the crown maybe, but not that big of a deal. And yeah, we'll see if they stay. Oh, a very important change, ladies and gentlemen. Denmark has gone Protestant. In fact, a Protestant center of reformation did spawn in Denmark itself. Maybe they were one of the first ones to get it. So that's a major change right there. Yeah, major change right there. And no other missions down here except for this one. Okay, we'll see how they progress. Really not better or worse than I expected. I did expect something like this. So shout out, man. Shout out these guys for now. This is the third guy. The guy that, followed Christian. this is his son, so this is the third ruler so far, second that I'm not playing. We'll be back in a couple of decades. We'll see where we're at. All right, folks, a couple of more decades have gone by. Let's go ahead and you know what? I'm gonna take a peek at North America first because I do want to see if these guys are colonizing, and look at that. We already have Denmark present in the Caribbean, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously not faster than Portugal, but also some provinces up in Canada, which is not bad. Norway isn't here though, surprisingly. Danish Greenland, okay. Main reveal. Oh, it's glorious. Look at this mighty Denmark, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna hop right into them to examine everything going on over here. Okay, so on the great powers list, number 3. They're making me proud. Number 3 on the great powers list, ladies and gentlemen. Let's examine something else. So we still got the Burgundy dynasty. This guy is, you know, he's a little bit stupid, but we're not gonna hold that against him. 28, no heir. He can. Ooh, if this guy dies, succession war between France and Spain. That's very interesting if it does happen, but let's take a look at the economy. Economy doing decently well, not gonna lie. Alliance situation. Dithmarschen is a vassal. Okay, so there is expansion over in Europe, even though, you know, it's very little, but there is expansion. Mecklenburg could potentially be vassalized. Let's take a look. Okay, good on tech as well. They've taken trade, so they have taken trade after all. Awesome, awesome. That is something I wanted to see. Very cool, very cool. So over in the missions, man, obviously they've done that. They've integrated Norway. They still haven't integrate Sweden because they don't own Goatland, and it's still no changes over here, and they can be diplo-vassalized. I wonder if they're gonna go for that or not. But okay, advancements in the mission tree and in the colonization branch as well, in the Reformation branch as well, so that's pretty good right there. A policy active is still Protestant, still keeping this as a trade company. Yeah, everything good over there, and lots of crownland ownership, lots of privileges granted, so they are actually doing really well, man. Doing really well, yeah. Is everything stated? Everything is full stated, very cool. Religion converted, let's see, cultures, accepted cultures or something like that. So yeah, that's not bad either, man. So I'm actually very satisfied with that. Centers of trade have been upgraded as well. I think they've put down a couple of more buildings. They can do even more. Yeah, they can do a lot more construction, which is something I would be doing right now. But overall, not bad at all, man. So yeah, are they colonizing? They don't have a colonist right now. They don't have a colonist, so I guess everything they got from over here is inherited from Norway. And I don't know if they are gonna take exploration expansion this late. I guess we'll have to see, but it's really not looking bad at all. They do have colonial stuff and the colonial mission, so that might steer them towards that. But overall, very satisfied with this check-in in 1555. I don't know which ruler this is. I guess we have to take a look at the history for that, but yeah, we'll examine that later. Okay, let's leave these guys alone, see what's gonna happen. Alliance situation looking decent. Hopefully they don't become a junior partner, and we'll check back in the age of absolutism. I hope they can prosper a bit more in the colonization, you know, side of things, but I guess we'll have to see. Overall, very satisfied. So the age of absolutism has just rolled around, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time to see what our descendants in Denmark have been up to. So let's just scroll over, and they are looking glorious with territorial expansion over in Europe as well. Now, the first thing I can see right here is that they have taken over Goatland, but that does mean that they fought Poland too. However, they haven't taken any land from Poland. Interesting, we'll dive right into that very soon, but Dithmarschen, their vassal over here, has been annexed. Let me take a look at a history of Goatland right here. So, interesting. This might have been Danish separatists, man. This might have been Danish separatists because I'm not seeing, you know, became a core of Denmark or whatever. I mean, it's already a core, so this could have been separatists, but there's also provinces taken over here from Muscovy. Now, too bad they didn't take Pskov because there's actually a mission that we noticed that they needed to take Pskov. But let's take a look at this right here, for example, was annexed by Denmark. Ooh, that was like 50 years ago, man. That was like 50 years ago, and they probably took these 3 provinces as well in that same war, which is dope. So that's their territorial expansion over in Europe. Let's take a look at North America. So Vinland has been established. pretty weak colony. Obviously, Spanish Canada is dominating this, but the colony itself could expand further this way. Maybe there'll be some wars or something like that over there later on. Nothing in the Caribbean. Let's see. Let's click on Denmark proper. Is there something in Africa? There isn't. Burgundy has aggressive expansion towards Denmark. Some of these guys have aggressive expansion. Why? What did they do? Did they PU someone? They haven't PU'd anyone. Maybe it was for this? I don't know. We'll get back into that. But let's jump into Denmark directly right here. Number 4 on the Great Powers list. So they have dropped down a little bit, but they, of course, have grown. It's just other people have outgrown them. Let me take a look at the missions now. So they have done this, and they have united Scandinavia. Can they form the Kalmar Union? They can't. Why can't they form the Kalmar Union? Unification of Scandinavia happens. Did they choose not to form the Kalmar Union? Or is that a completely different thing? They're still they're the unified Kalmar monarchy. Tier 1 government reform, which of course is a major step up from the other one. This is what they've taken for their government reforms. Yeah, no Kalmar Union. Interesting, man. Yeah, some other missions down here. Nothing too much to see right there. See, if they've taken Pskov, and if they built some force, they could do this mission as well. But yeah, not looking bad at all, man. I can say I'm pretty proud of them. 106k in the army, so they could probably fight Poland and Lithuania, man. They could take down Muscovy as well, looking really strong. Such a strong Protestant Reformation this game. My God, dude, look at this, man. Almost everyone in the HRE, except Frankfurt and Magdeburg, I think are Catholic. Yeah, and some other guys right here, but look at this. Protestant is the official faith. Yeah, so the War of the Protestant League happened. Protestant is the official faith. Bohemia is the emperor. I haven't seen a reformation like this in a long time, man. It's pretty much Spain and their colonies keeping Catholicism alive in Portugal, but yeah, looking really good. Still the Bourgogne dynasty in charge. Not too much expansion over in Europe, but they did expand. They have taken Gotland, so major props for that. Why is that the only mothballed fort? I don't know, but yeah, looking very, very good. Expansion is about to ramp up, I think, here in the Age of Absolutism, where, you know, countries can take larger chunks, so I'm excited to see what the next couple of decades hold for us. But still, not letting me down, and I love it. We are back after a couple of more decades to check in on our heirs in Denmark, and let's take a look at what they've been up to. Oh, the Kalmar Union has been formed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Every time we come back to them, they do me proud. This is what I wanted to see, folks. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a successful AI Denmark for once. And apparently all you need for that is to first play them for 30 years and then hand them off to the AI. But absolutely lovely here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and tag into them right here. Open up the grid. Oh, we're at war right now. Hold up. Spain. French succession war. What happened here? Oh, dude, I think, yes, France has become a junior partner of the Kalmar Union. Something I set up, ladies and gentlemen, 200 years ago is finally paying off for my descendants. Emperor Louis XV de Bourbon right here. He is French, but hey, it makes sense. It makes sense, yo. So, France has become a junior partner of the Kalmar Union. Spain is contesting it. And let's see, obviously, in the New World, man, Spain is a lot more powerful. And look, Finland actually has gotten a bit bigger. But, you know, with this, by proxy, the Kalmar Union also has these colonies down here, which are, you know, the French ones. So, Spain is obviously going to dominate the New World. But I think over in Europe, man, I think the Kalmar Union, France, Burgundy, and Bohemia should be able to easily dispatch Spain, Portugal, and Savoy, man. I think the Kalmar Union will keep this, so it's awesome. We have something to check out next time. Will the Kalmar Union have kept the Union over France? But in the meantime, on the GP list, yeah, 1700 devs, still number 4, just behind Great Britain right here. That's looking nice. Losing money right now, obviously a lot due to corruption, Diplo's expense. They're supporting loyalists and knowledge sharing. Okay, lots of high-level advisors, very expensive. Mission tree, maybe not too much to take a look at over here because this is pretty standard, although they have completed some of these over here. And then there's the additional branch down here, which is the Kalmar branch. All of these have been unlocked down here, and they have actually completed a couple of those, so that's awesome to see. They've taken Aristo and Maritime, which, you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, man. Oops, that's my timer, sorry. But yeah, obviously they would pick something like this since they're naval focused, but you know, they got the Scandinavian ones, which are like massively superior to the Danish ones. These are not that much boat focused, so I don't know what to say about the ideas. This is probably one of the things I don't like, but I never expected them to take something, you know, good. Aside from that, this is what the rest of the world is looking like, man, if you guys want to check that out. So, yeah, Kalmar Union, man, my heirs, my descendants over in Scandinavia doing me proud. And I'm excited to check back in once the once we're near or in the Age of Revolutions and seeing if these guys keep the Union and if they do something more with it. But I'm actually liking this quite a lot, man. I'm liking it quite a lot. We'll check back in soon. Age of Revolutions time. Let's see what our heirs have been up to, ladies and gentlemen. And as we can see, stuff even here is being colonized by Spain. But moving on, immediately, folks, immediately we can notice this massive expansion over in Russia, man. Shout out to the Kalmar Union finally getting the balls to do something versus these big, strong guys over here. But attacker against Poland in the Kalmar Polish imperialist war. I'm actually so glad we caught this. So let's see who is all involved in this. Okay, they have kept France. They have kept France, and they've called in their boy, Burgundy, but they're also claiming the throne of Burgundy. Interesting, and it's the Bourbon dynasty? The dynasty has changed, hasn't it? Or was it always? No, it was the Burgundy guys. Whatever. But yeah, they've expanded quite a lot over in Russia, man. And as we can see, they haven't added anything new that they conquered to trade companies. However, the stuff that I trade companied from the start is still in a trade company. But somehow they've managed to convert this. Maybe it was a Center of Reformation, but looking really strong, man. Going back to the subjects, we got Cuba as well. Where is Cuba? It's pretty much the same color. Let me see. Okay, so a colonial nation has formed somehow. Is this really 5 provinces? I guess it is. Finland is looking stronger than earlier, which is very nice. However, they've lost Iceland. Why did they lose Iceland? This had to have been Icelander pretender rebels. But yeah, aside from that, man, looking really, really good. This is, I mean, they declared the war. Obviously, they feel like they're strong enough that they can win it. These guys combined, they got almost 300k troops. Kalmar Union, 226, 150 from France, 184 from Burgundy. Yeah, this is going to be nice, man, and we're finally going to see some expansion over here. So these guys are doing really well on the GP list, back up to number 3, and actually inching closer to Spain. Ottomans are definitely running away, but they can be beaten at this point as well. And yeah, in the rest of the world, that's what it looks like. Economy, you know, I mean, what do you want me to say about this? I have nothing to say about that. But in the ideas, they've also taken economic over here, so that's not bad at all. Let's see some Kalmar missions down here. Yeah, they've done some more. They've done some more of the colonization ones for sure. But aside from that, not too much. We'll see if they, you know, they do some of the Hansa stuff. But yeah, checking in right here, man, right at the start in the Age of Revolutions, we have the potential to see the revolution as well. Oh, look at Big Milan. And, weird Portugal and Spain over here. I didn't notice that earlier, but yeah, we could see an Italy in this game as well. I think Milan is only missing Venice here, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, overall, man, I'm liking this quite a lot. Really? I've never seen Muscovy conquer China. I've never seen them do this in my 12 years of playing EU4 or however long it is. This is almost more interesting than what's happening in the Kalmar Union. How did this happen? Either way, we'll check back in about 40 or 50 years, folks, and we'll see how the Kalmar Union gets on with this war versus Poland and if something happens with the revolution. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the middle of the Age of Revolutions, and let's take a look at how our heirs have been developing their nation, and oh my God, it's just looking absolutely lovely. Now, before we touch on the Kalmar Union, man, I want to talk about other stuff as well. Italy has formed. I guess you don't need Venice to form Italy? Then what did they need? Why hadn't they formed it yet? Interesting. We have Italy formed by Milan. We know that for sure. And Austria has compromised. Why is this? Who gonna ally them as? The Ottomans? I'm not the Ottomans though. It's because I was tagged into the Kalmar Union. Okay, but yeah, we got Austria right here. They compromised with Hungary. We got Austria-Hungary. Bohemia has become a junior partner of Austria, even though they were more powerful than them for a major part of the game. This is what it's looking like elsewhere in the world. We can obviously now see the entire map, but let's jump into the Kalmar Union, ladies and gentlemen. We can see that they have expanded quite hard into Poland and Lithuania. Now, was all of this done in one war? I don't know. I guess we'll see when we take a look at the timeline later. But yeah, significant expansion over here, man. Pretty much complete dominance over the Baltic Sea trade node. Let's take a look at the GP list. So we've dropped down to number 5 right here, but it's only because of institutions and stuff like that. Normally we would be number 4 right here. These are the government reforms. Should be finished up by now, I think. Yes, they are. Political absolutism. They've picked up quantity as well, which is actually a good pick right here. Not a lot of changes in the mission tree, I don't think. Why can't they do this? Of course, they can't do it because of corruption, but it's not even that needed at this point. And yeah, they've completed actually a couple of more missions down here, and they just need a couple of more provinces over here in the HRE supporting our independence. Wait, what is this? Our independence? No, we're supporting. Yeah, we're supporting their independence. Everyone is supporting their independence. That's the timer again. Sorry, I have my timer to come back and look at it, but I come back earlier. So yeah, that is what it's looking like, man. Economy. Oh, finally not losing money to corruption. Hell yeah. Let's take a look at the subjects right here. So France, still a subject. They still got the two, trade companies over there, but Cuba is gone. I'm assuming it got declared on directly by Caribas right here. Kalmar Union didn't intervene, so there's a little L over there, one of the rare ones. And we still got the Bourbons, but now it's a Queen Regency or whatever. So yeah, looking very good, man. I can't see any signs of the revolution. I don't know if the revolution was present. We got revolutionaries. Oh, and France is actually being integrated, and it will get done being integrated in about 5 years right here. So with the Kalmar Union having direct possessions over here, I wonder if we'll see them do some wars maybe versus Spain or Italy to expand down here, or will they continue doing stuff over here? So yeah, that is what they're looking like right now, man. Still doing me proud. Still about 70 years more to go right here. So I'm excited to see how they develop their game for the final stretch of our I played as one ruler and then watched my descendants challenge over here. But yeah, looking very nice. I guess we'll be back for a final time in 1821. And there we have it, folks. January 3rd, 1821, EU4's end date, something I reckon most of you guys have never seen. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Kalmar Union and what our descendants and heirs have decided to do with the wonderful empire that we left them after only playing as one king in EU4. And there is the Kalmar Union, ladies and gentlemen, in all its glory. Now, I'm gonna get back to them. I want to analyze the rest of the world first. As we can see, we got an absolutely huge Austria-Hungary with the Habsburgs still in charge right here fighting Greece. Now, these guys, man, you guys noticed from previous clips, they were kind of sucking over here. They weren't the emperor. Bohemia was the dominant guy, but look at everything they've accomplished. But still, they didn't even have the balls to leave the HRE, so they're not even an empire, man, or anything like that. Not the HRE emperor. In fact, I think Oldenburg is, or whoever that is. But yeah, rest of the world, Muscovy still in China. We got Japan doing stuff over here. These guys are regular. Pretty big Kilwa. Portugal colonizing really powerfully. Burgundy in South Africa as well. And our boys, the Kalmar Union, seem to have lost most of their possessions over in the New World and stuff like that, but not too important. And of course, we didn't have time to let them finish this war that they're having versus revolutionary Turkey. But let's analyze everything that they've done, man, after we left them alone, in the, what was it, in the 1460s or 1470s, whenever it was. Taking a look at the Great Powers list, number 3 on the Great Powers list, although I will assume that after they get this war done with revolutionary Turkey, man, that they could pop up to number 2 on the Great Powers list. Austria-Hungary is an economic hegemon. The Kalmar Union is a naval hegemon, almost filled up right here. These are all of their government reforms right here. You guys can take a look at it. They've picked some decent ones, actually, really not too bad, except for this one right here. I never like it. But yeah, over here running level 5 advisors in every category. We ended with Emperor Christian VIII de Bourbon after starting with Christian the Third, Archking Christian the Third, I think, but he wasn't even a Bourbon or anything like that. Going over in we are actually, I was gonna say almost French primary culture, but no, it's still Danish. In the diplomacy tab, no subjects anymore, allied to Britain, Portugal, Italy, and Lucca. So none of these guys We didn't set up alliances with these guys at the start, any of us. We just did other things, but hey, it paid off with the union over France and integrating them in the economy department, man. Or actually, oh, that's Austria-Hungary, right? Well, I'm looking at completely different things. Okay, here's the diplomat department for the Kalmar Union, man. Still allied to Burgundy, something I set up myself at the start of the game, guaranteeing Lithuania. We do have French Columbia, which is down here. No, that's the Kalmar Union straight up. Where's French Columbia? There's French Columbia, and of course a little bit of Vinland left. And we still have, you know, an alliance with Mecklenburg, Oldenburg, and Utrecht, which they've set up themselves. In the economy department, nothing too powerful, decent. Obviously, you know, in the hands of the player, man, you'd be much more massive. And even if you weren't much more massive with this land, you'd be making a lot more money, but still really not that bad. They are spending a huge amount on forts right here. In the trade department, 45% goods produced, which is actually pretty good. 42% income coming in from trade, which is also decent. Ahead of time, actually last tech, and they've ended with a diplomatic idea. So I like quality. You know, if they blobbed out more, I would have liked admin. I like trade as well. I like economic. I like quantity, but you know, without maritime, maybe they wouldn't have become what you call it, a naval hegemon. So I do like all of these picks that they've done. And over in the mission tree department, you know, they didn't complete too many missions, but I would say they accomplished more missions than I did, most likely. More missions than I did. Yeah, these are all of their policies that are active. Pretty good ones right here. Still under GovCap, good stability, decent admin efficiency, 140 absolutism. That's crazy, actually. In the religion department, you know, Protestant, flipped to Protestant super early, converted most everything they could, and this was one of the most dominant Protestant reformations I've seen in a long time in EU4, man. You know, except for some of the things right here, which they never untrade companied, but we'll get back to that. Really good combat abilities right here. Massive army force limit that's filled out, more than 1 million troops, folks, and massive naval force limit, almost 1,000 boats. No boat modifiers though, but a ton of admirals and generals, man. We do got actually quite a lot of other trade companies, so let's go into the coalition map mode. We can see that we do have possessions down here as well, so all of these are trade companies as well. And let's take a look at over here. We got a province here. Yeah, East Africa, Guinea, Moluccas, Muscovy, yeah, South Africa. So yeah, a couple of possessions around the world as well, but that may have just been leftovers from what France did. 100% crown ownership, and the estates still have the monarch coin privileges, which is better than some of you folks watching at home, let me tell you that. But yeah, man, you know, we set out to discover after, you know, playing the game with one ruler, will the AI continue to have a good game after we set up a good game for them, or will they let it all crash and burn and not do anything and let all of our efforts be for nothing? And I gotta say, man, oh, by the way, revolution in Turkey, obviously the revolution is present. I gotta say, man, I didn't expect them to do this well, especially after we left them off in the situation with all of the pretender rebels and the war versus England that France called us in. And of course, we can't forget about this either. But yeah, I didn't expect them to do this well. Honestly, you guys might think that this isn't that good of a game because they didn't expand that much more. But listen, we left them with like, I don't know, what was it, 400 dev, 600 dev? They're up to 4,000, man. Really, really powerful. So I gotta say, our descendants, you know, the Kalmar Union, the descendants that we left this realm to, I'm satisfied with them. They did me proud. I set them up for success, and they obviously had a very successful campaign. Ended up number 3 on the Great Powers list. So I think we can safely say that our descendants, well, they're worthy of inheriting the Kalmar Union that we left to them. And that was a very, very interesting experiment that we set up right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super happy with that. So yeah, man, if you enjoyed this type of video, I know it's different to what I did. Like I said at the start of the video, I did take, or maybe I didn't say this at the start of the video, but yeah, I got this idea from Koifish, who did it in CK3. Then Laith told me Koifish actually got the idea from him, and I stole it from Koifish. Koifish stole it from Laith. So thank you, boys, for giving me this idea. Both of them to do it in EU4. Obviously they did it in CK3, I think. So yeah, that's where they got the idea from. I don't know if I mentioned it at the start. I hope I did. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more wacky ideas like this. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out a lot. And of course, leave a like. But that's it for me for now. See you next time.